What's up, survivors? Welcome back to the Apocalypse Post. I'm your host, Makeshift, and this week we're going to be talking about the environmental impact of all these post-apocalypse festivals and what we can do to make them just a little bit better. So we're going to get a little bit of real world here. First off, post-apocalypse festivals are full of fire, guzzaline, decorative garbage, and crowds of people living in a pre-created wasteland. Add to that the normal camping side effects of single-use items, wastewater, and smoke. You end up living for a week in a small-scale environmental disaster. Now, some of you may say, hey, it's the apocalypse. That's just what it would be like. And I'm all for dedication to character, but just because we're celebrating the end of the habitable world doesn't mean we should be helping to cause it. There's a few things we can do as a community to help our festivals be just a little more environmentally conscious. All right, first up is trash. Most events are pack it in, pack it out, meaning you're taking all your garbage with you. And with just a little extra effort, you can separate your trash from your recyclables. Not only does this ensure that you keep cans and bottles out of the landfills, but you'll also make back a few caps to spend on supplies for next time. Speaking of garbage, let's try to make less of it. Reduce and reuse are better than recycle. Reusable plates and refillable water bottles can reduce the amount of single-use waste your camp is creating. Any garbage left lying around your camp will likely be taken away by the wind in no time, so keep it where it belongs by using your pockets for small bits of trash temporarily and keeping a closable garbage can in your camp. Themed, of course. Also, same thing with cigarette butts. Right in the pocket, you smokers. Thought you were trying to quit. Finally, check in and around your camp constantly throughout and after the event for anything that might have slipped away. Even if it's not yours, let's work together to keep our apocalyptic landscape from becoming trash heaps. I know, it sounds weird because that's exactly what we're trying to create, but there's a difference between set decoration and actual garbage. All right, this is something that's not going to be pretty for most people, but we're going to talk about human waste. Most post-apocalypse events offer porta potties. Make sure you're using them. Even a few people peeing in the area can affect the ecosystem, and let alone thousands of people letting loose all willy-nilly, willy out. Free willy. Don't free willy. Do not free willy. Even your gray water should be captured and disposed of properly. Use your empty water jugs to capture used washing suds. All right, in the early days of Wasteland, it was a big space and just a few hundred people out there. So, a lot of campfires, a lot of burning fuels didn't really affect the atmosphere locally, but I've noticed over the last few years, starting in about 2014, 2015, the air quality at Wasteland has started getting a lot worse, especially at night because everyone's fires are burning. And what we ended up with in 2018 was this inverse heat layer something. It kept all the smoke on the ground, so breathing got really bad. And I'm not even sensitive to smoke, so I can only imagine what it's like for people with emphysema or something like that. The local environment at a festival can get pretty unhealthy very quick. When you count all the campfires, the generators, the dust that's being kicked up, you're already breathing worse air than a chain smoker. Add to that kerosene lamps, paraffin candles, and any random garbage people throw in their campfires, and the air becomes downright rank. So, try to use LEDs, try to use battery-powered lights whenever possible. I know you guys want to have a campfire. At the Dukes of the Nuke, we have a campfire going almost all the time, but don't burn anything that's not wood or paper, because all that random stuff you guys put in there, especially when you're talking about putting plastics in there, that stuff's incredibly poisonous to breathe. And I don't want to breathe it. Buying your firewood local to whatever festival you're going to can help keep foreign radroaches and other invasive pests away. Even a propane generator can make a big difference over a gasoline generator in how much exhaust it's putting out. I know someone's going to call me out on the science on that, but propane is kind of clean burning. Cleaner than gasoline? Maybe someone can clear that up? And always keep in mind that some people at these events can be living with different illnesses or different conditions that make them more sensitive to smoke, smells, and other man-made conditions. They're already having a hard time surviving out there camping, whether it's the desert or the woods or whatever. So anything you can do to help everybody's festival be a little bit easier to do, it helps. And finally, when it comes to big festivals like this, one of the biggest impacts it can have is the transportation to get there. You got thousands of people driving and flying in hundreds of miles. There's a lot of extra fuel being used that wouldn't be used otherwise. So carpooling can help reduce that by 50% or more. And if you want help trying to understand why it can be 50% or more, because if you have one person in a car and you put two people in a car instead, you're using half the gas. Now, if you use 3 or 4 people in that car, you're down to 33% of the gas. You're down to a quarter of the gas. So, keep that in mind. Not only can it help save a little bit of money, but it can help save the environment too. So all of this to say that a few changes can help take the edge off of our environmental impact when we do festivals like this. And by reducing our footprint, we can help make sure these sites are available for us to pretend the world has ended for years to come. We want to celebrate the apocalypse, not actually live through it. Because if you're one of those people that's like, bring on the apocalypse, well, guess what? the apocalypse means most people are dead. So chances are you're dead. You're not going to enjoy the apocalypse. You're not going to have fun being a raider. You're not going to go get to relive your Mad Max car driving fantasies. You're dead. And I don't want to be dead, so take care of my Earth. We as a post-apocalypse fan community should be the first ones to embrace something like this because we know how bad the world can be, even though it's just through our nerdy fandom. A Mad Max future, a Waterworld future, a future like The Road. These are all real things that could happen, and we're living on this planet. It's the only one we've got, so we've got to take care of it now. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope that there's been some ideas in there that you can incorporate into your wastelanding. Guys, like this video, make sure to leave a comment, leave me your hate mail if you have to, and subscribe and hit that alert button so that you don't ever miss anything again. I've got more content coming out for you. Hopefully, there'll be a bunch more before Wasteland. If not, I got more coming after Wasteland because I'll be there shooting. All right, that's it for me. Stay alive.